Hey, I've got 6 o'clock. Let's go ahead and call the insurance committee meeting to order. If everyone, if you got a copy of the agenda on the backs, the minutes from our last meeting, if you would look over them, see if it's any, if we need to make any additions or subtractions, or I'll entertain a motion to approve it as is. Mr. Jewell.
Motion to approve is written and presented.
Second.
All righty, we'll move into the next thing on our agenda, discussion, the insurance plan proposal. So.
All right, can you hear me? All right, I'm Zach Helton. I'm with 5 Points. Wes couldn't be here. So one of the things that's come up this week, when we ran that proposal, we thought we had all the information we needed to do it. As we went on this week, we noticed that the water department employees were not included in that proposal. So this week, I got all the information, I got all the employee demographic information from the water department. We got it to Blue Cross, and due to their age, the rates did go up on that proposal. We did run it without running claims because we have to get those from the state. So with that, we no longer recommend at this time going forward with it was an 18% increase by adding the water department. And our recommendation is to give us more time to dig into it a little more. Like I said, we make money off the medical, but we can't with good conscience tell you to do it without us digging more.
Does anybody got any questions, Mr. Jewell?
Well, I appreciate your taking that tact on this, and I think it is something. It's a vast departure from what we've had, and we're having a really hard time explaining this, I think, to the employees. We haven't had, we did not have good participation in the meeting we had the other night to try to, for them to try to understand and be able to ask questions. I have spent considerable amount of time in the last few days trying to talk with them since those meetings. And overwhelmingly, I have been met with not just questions, but I don't want to use the word resistance, but resistance to the thought process of changing. I think they seem to be overall happy with where they're at. I know there are some individuals that maybe aren't, but and there were, I guess you'd say, dissenting views in that respect. But I do think it would be prudent for us, particularly in light of this, to give them time to look at it a little bit more, and for us to have a little bit more time to oh God, I hate to use that word, get buy-in from the employees. But I really think that's kind of where I see it at this point. I've tried to tell them, and if I'm remiss in this, somebody straighten me out, that this certainly was not intended or started to necessarily save us money, but to improve their benefits and their insurance. And I tried to echo that, and I think it's just such a different departure And when we had to, factor in the increases, which we know we're going to have now, and we know now how much, when I think once they have seen that what they have is going to increase, possibly, probably, that they would be maybe a little bit more receptive to it. But that's just, I wanted to share what I had found out in my conversations with them. And I'm sure the mayor has his comments in that same way. I'm sure he's heard from a lot of them and talked to a lot of them. And just wanted to make everyone aware of that.
Our job as your broker isn't just to save the county money. It's also to bring the employees the best benefit at the best cost. Okay, we can't just worry about cost. We could come in and give them the greatest benefit ever, but it's going to cost money. So that is our job as the broker, to find that line of cost and benefit. And that's what we're here for. Yeah, exactly. So we're willing to do whatever we need to do for the employees. Obviously that we want to make sure the employees are satisfied with us. And that's what we're here for. And that's what we're here to do for you all. And that's our promise. So.
Mayor, have you got anything you'd like to say?
No, I was just gonna say, I was actually gonna ask the committee to put it off and look at a January 1st effective date anyway, give us more time to look at it, especially with the state just coming out with the numbers and what the plan's gonna be. And when they did the presentation last week, the state hadn't given us that information yet. So I do think it gives us a better base of comparison going forward. I've still got some questions, like some of the county employees are kind of nervous about how it's gonna work, losing copay and how that's gonna work with prescriptions and that kind of stuff. And each, employee is a little bit different. I'm different. I pay a direct primary care doctor subscription every month, and I have no doctor bills that get submitted to insurance because I'm paying that subscription and I go there. So I go through that, and I just use the insurance in case something major happens. Like last December, somebody rear-ended me and I had to go to the hospital. So I used it for that. But outside of it, I don't use it. But now I'm probably the only employee in the county that has that kind of medical care. So I think that gives us a little bit more time going forward to see what the numbers are going to be. They may run the numbers and come back and say it's not even worth looking at anymore. So it just depends on what that is. And I think it's most definitely the best course of action is to look at least the January 1st effective date and start giving more time to evaluate it.
And that's our exact recommendation, is let's put it off till January 1st. We'll be able to pull the claims for the water department. Also, we can look at claims over the next few months and we can keep getting them back. The claims could possibly start trending down. If that happens, then our price can go down. So yeah, that's our recommendation, is let's put it off till January 1st. Let us do some more work. Let us dig a little more to see what we can, see if we can't find something better to do better.
And I will remind the committee, though, one of the things we need to keep in the forefront of our mind is if we're going to leave the state plan, we have to give them 60-day notice. So I think if we're coming out January 1st, it would have to be at least November 1st. I think we would have to let them know. So I think we need to make a decision sometime in October.
I agree. We'll start running those quotes. We'll probably start working on it September. It is about when we would start the process, getting more claims data, going out to market, and then that'd give us a couple weeks to put something together, find the best policy, and then we'll come and present it. And then if we need to do more group meetings, if we need to go to the individual departments and do group meetings, or we'll meet one-on-one, we'll do whatever we need to do to make sure that if we do want to move forward, that the employees are bought in.
I think, and most of the questions I got were centered around the copay, with the copay going away, how would that work with a deductible? I've got some questions myself, just how does once you meet your deductible, I'll give you an example. Right now, even though it's going away in the next plan year, here's my doctor bill when I was in that car wreck. It's $200 copay. Paid it earlier today. Well, that copay is going away, and with this plan, it's a $250 deductible, so just that alone, I'm almost at my deductible limit. So then my question would be, once I hit my deductible limit and then it goes to 90/10, is that 90% county paying under the HRA and then 10% employee, or is that 90% insurance, 10% county paying under the HRA? Does the HRA pay first dollars in, and when that's exhausted, then the county employee starts paying? So I just got some questions like that, and I've given the information you said, I think a little bit more time to dig into that. I know it seemed like it was rushed, but then again, like I said, if you were looking at a September 1st effective date, which is what Blue Cross Blue Shield was willing to hold these rates for, well, then you had to let the state know by July 1st. But I do think in this one, I think being a little bit more cautious is probably the better course of action to be. Make sure we have doing what's best for the county employees.
I think one thing that might help in that respect is mock case studies. Joe Blow had an accident, and under your plan now, this is what he would have had to pay. Under the new proposal, this is what it would have cost him out of pocket, or things of that nature. I think if they can see an actual case study, I think it's a lot easier to understand than just looking at figures and dollar amounts and things of that nature. And I don't mean hundreds of them, but I don't know, half a dozen possibly scenarios, typical scenarios, not, and then maybe the extreme scenarios. Okay, Joe Blow's wife got cancer, and this is, a catastrophic illness, and this is the most that you're going to get paid here, and the most you're going to have to pay out, and then the typical, Susie has a nosebleed and has to go to the doctor. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? So I think that type of information to be able to hand to everybody would go a long way, using the actual dollars that they would be investing in it, not some hypothetical amount of money. So I think that would be helpful.
We actually have a program that we can put all those numbers into. We call it our medical cost calculator. And it shows, it could be specific. This is how much on the state plan childbirth is. This is how much it would be on this plan. Colonoscopy. And it can be specific, or it could be, we can run it high usage, low usage. So it's an individual. They go to it's low usage. They go to the doctor 3 times a year. They're on 2 medications, and that's all they really do. We can show the cost of that. We can show high usage. They go to a specialist 2 times a year, and they go to the hospital. They're in the hospital twice a year. So we can show specific diagnosis on that calculator, and we can show just an average. But yeah, we do have that, and we can put that together. Absolutely.
I know I could understand it a whole lot better like that. I mean, it's something you really got to put a whole lot of time in to grasp, but it's something of that nature, you can understand it a whole lot better. I mean, I think that would be a great idea. Do we need to make a motion to put this off, or just?
Probably the best thing to do is make a motion to continue it until, well, don't put to a date certain, just say leave it at the call of the chair based on recommendations or what 5 Points comes back with.
Mr. Jewell, you'll make.
I would like to say that I'm in total agreement putting it off, and I hope we can have it done in the January. But as we're all very aware, we're going to have a new regime coming in September, at least in these phases, maybe in that phase. I hope that will not derail this process, but it may be, it's going to be hard possibly to have these committees completely worked out. Hopefully they would be able to do that by October, but I'm just saying that may bear on whether we can make a January deadline, but I think we should certainly shoot for that. I would make the motion that we look into this, give them time to crunch these new numbers, and come back when you decide, or a new chairman decides that it would be prudent to.
I've got a motion. Anybody want to second that?
Second that.
Second, Mr. Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be the best thing to do too.
And then, Mayor,
so-
if you want to get the question, I'll leave you my card and then you've got, and any questions that anybody has, I'll leave my information, just send it to me. And whenever we put that other stuff together, we'll answer those questions as well. Thank you all.
We do appreciate you coming out. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to number 4. Is any other discussion we need to be brought up tonight? Any other discussion? Anything else we need, Mayor? No.
No, sir, this is really the only items that this committee deals with.
Did they want to say anything?
I'm
We'd like
moving to,
to
I'm
hear
moving to
from
the next thing, public comment. Anybody in the public want to say anything? All right, I have a motion to adjourn. Motion, Mr. Davis, second by Mary Ann. Appreciate y'all coming out.